Yeah. Once again, good evening to all of you. Today is 25th March 2021. A very warm welcome and good evening to all of you. Today we'll start the second level of talks on induction of engineering startups in water resource department. I request Sri Alex Varghese, the Chief Engineer I&A, for the welcome speech. Over to you, sir.
So very good evening to all. Respected TKJ sir, ACS Form and WRD. With respected Pranabjyoti sir, Secretary Water Resources. Respected Shri Venkateshapathy sir, MD KIIDC. Shri Biju sir, Chief Engineer IDRB. Shri.John from EyeRov Technologies. Shri.Anto from Lamaara Technologies. Shri Susan Jacob, HOD Carmel College of Engineering, Alappuzha. Dr. Arun Surendran, Trinity College of Engineering, Thiruvananthapuram. My Deputy C, Srimati Sridevi. Dr. P. Sojanlal sir, Principal MBITS. Dear friends from the various startups and my dear friends. I'm extremely happy to note that the second phase of the techno-academic session aims at bringing in new startup to the water resource department. In the first phase of the techno-academy session, we could imbibe in almost 39 engineering colleges for the preparation of the DPRs for the river rejuvenation works. So we could prepare almost 39 DPRs, and that was submitted to the Honorable Minister on 20th February. Through the tie-up between the techno-academia community, that the Government of Kerala could tackle society's burning issues and pressing challenges in a most economic manner. The department as such was not in a position to crack the highly technical issues by itself, but with the advent of the tie-up, we could catapult the department to a higher trajectory. I hope that today's discussion would add much impetus to the techno-academic tie-up. Our esteemed Additional Secretary Sri TKJ sir has considered to be to preside over this function. In fact, because of his vision, sir's vision, only that the tie-up has blossomed and flowered. I heartily welcome you, sir, to this auspicious occasion. Our esteemed Secretary, Sri Pranabjyoti sir, is delivering a speech on the opportunity put forward by KIIDC to the engineering startups. He is always a sense of inspiration. I would like to welcome you, sir, to this gathering. Our esteemed MD, KIIDC, Sri Venkateshapathy sir, is attending the meeting online. He will be talking on the subject of opportunities that are available from the KIIDC for the startups. I welcome you, sir, to this gathering. Also, my counterpart, Deputy Chief Engineer Biju sir, Chief Engineer for the IDRB, will be talking on the opportunities that the startups can get from the irrigation department. I would like to welcome you, sir, to this gathering. Also, the proprietors from two startups, namely startup companies Shri.John from EyeRov Technologies and Shri.Anto from Lamaara Technologies, attending this meeting. They'll be talking on issues that have already been taken up by them and how they could be associated with the department in sorting out issues faced by the department. I welcome you, both of you, sir. Also, Sri Susan Jacob, HOD from the Carmel College of Engineering, Alappuzha, and Sri Arun and Dr. Arun Surendran, Principal, Trinity College of Engineering, Thiruvananthapuram, are also attending this meeting. I heartily welcome both of you, sir. I also take this opportunity to welcome Dr. P. Sojanlal sir, Principal MBITS, and all those who are participating in this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex sir, for giving this welcome speech, as well as your exceptional coordination during the past exercise which you have done jointly between engineering colleges and water resource department. Now I request Sri Pranabjyoti, IAS Secretary, Water Resource Department, PWD, and MD of KIIDC for the Quandary. Over to you, sir.
So and Pranab.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Please give me 2-3 minutes time before you start the presentation.
yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes.
I just wanted to introduce a new member to this community of Techno Academicians group. Somebody who studied BTech from Kerala, done his MBA from USA, initiated a startup in 2010 from Kochi. After nurturing it from 20 persons to 200 persons company, he sold it to Nielsen USA, worked in USA for a long time, around 20 plus years of experience in managing large technology projects and management of technology projects and management. And he is in the consultancy field also. He was the director of a startup called Visual IQ. He is nobody other than the new CEO of Technoparks in Kerala. Government, through a global search, picked him up, Mr. John Thomas, a Keralite from Kottayam, studied BTech Mechanical from NIT Calicut and MBA from Georgia Tech University, USA. He, in fact, after taking over this week, 2 days back, just came to call on me, and that happened to be on our VC day. So I just requested him to be with us. He will be joining, and I will just introduce him. And he has replaced our Mr. Shashi, who attended our last meeting as the CEO of Technopark and former director of Startup Mission Kerala. So I welcome Mr. John Thomas to collaborate with this academic water resource department tie-up, and I may welcome him to this gathering and request him to just speak a few words and extend all possible support from the Technoparks in Kerala. So with your permission, Sojanlal sir, I am just, Pranav, just
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes.
Then please unshare the presentation until he finishes this. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so good afternoon, everyone. I mean, I was really interested when Sir told about this initiative. I have a background in startups as well, and very excited about startups. And one of the things which I really want to do in my new role is to promote and enable and support startups within the park. So that is definitely a prerogative and area of interest for me. And this particular initiative, which puts together the needs, the ground level needs of the state, and matches with the young talent in our state. So it serves two needs. It solves on the ground problems, and at the same time, it gives much needed exposure, required exposure to actual problem solving for our student community, with the guidance from their teachers and with the guidance from the stalwarts within the various government departments and under the able guidance and leadership from all of you. So that is fantastic. I mean, this is.
And I may request you to talk a little bit about Visual IQ.
Okay.
How did you conceive, and what was the areas in which you were working, and how could you mobilize or scale up company from 20 people to 200 people within 2 years, and how was that journey? Because today's meeting, we have invited few startups who have already ventured into, and we are encouraging and motivating the college teachers, departments and colleges to inform, inspire and motivate the students to do the startup mission. Rather than everybody going for paid and wage employment, let us think of a 500 new engineering startup from the campus. And Kerala government in the budget announced one of the most helping and facilitating schemes under the state budget for the startups in Kerala. Already there are 3,000 startups in Kerala, engaging around 80,000 people, but majority of them are into IT and mobile type of thing. But we need some hardcore good engineering startups, so that manufacturing, services, consultancy, contracting, many things. What we offered is, over a period of 1 year, we wanted to have 500 engineering startups. From the Water Resources Department alone, we can offer every startup who is sincere and serious a business turnover of up to 10 crores minimum. So this is the environment. Kindly speak few of your experiences in promoting and running the visual IQ, and what are the sectors or areas where you were working, and how did you effectively sell it to the Nielsen USA?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So I think any startup need to, this is my perspective. Before I get into visual IQ, I'll just talk about my philosophy around how startups should be oriented and structured. So generally, startups and businesses in general tend to be successful when they are solving a problem, right? There has to be a fundamental societal or social or business problem that the entity is solving, and that is what gives it wheels and muscle to operate. So the particular and bigger the problem, bigger the opportunity. Essentially, that is, and that's my belief, and that's what has played out in our lives within that company. So essentially, in early 2006 timeframe, there was a problem where companies were spending a lot of money on digital marketing. So essentially, the search advertisements, things like Google search, banners, display advertisements, AdWords, keyword advertisements, things of that nature. There was no way to measure what returns it was bringing to the business. So that was a problem. A lot of money was being spent in digital advertisement, and there was no clue as to how much revenue returns this money spent was bringing back to the businesses. So we offered a way to track digital advertisement, measure it in the form of dashboards, and effectively optimize that spend, right? Basically cut down the unnecessary fat and non-revenue earning spend and focus on things which are more effective and basically measured in terms of return on marketing investment. So that was the basic value proposition. It really caught on, and we were lucky because there was a big problem which we identified earlier than the others, right? So we had the first mover advantage. The requirement was growing, so the only thing which stopped us was finding the right resources. The supplies, there are two sides for any startup, right? There is a demand side, which is the customers, or where it is being deployed, the product or solution is being deployed. And there is a supply side, which is the people and the technology. So demand was never a concern. We could sell as much as we can find the right people to do the work, and which continues to be so for much of the cutting edge technology areas even today. And my biggest problem was finding the right talent here in Cochin. That was a struggle. That was where I really struggled, and attracting talent from places like Bangalore and Hyderabad was very much a struggle that we had to pay up. That may not be a problem that you have in many of the core engineering services. There are smart people looking for opportunities. So that was our experience, and we were able to sell it because it generated money. It was a very healthy business with very healthy margins, and we were able to sell it for a profit. And by the way, disclaimer, I wasn't one of the equity holders. I was a director who was responsible for coaching, so I didn't make much money. It was somebody else who made the money. So that was fine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So, Swadenlal sir, why I thought is because this is a just a windfall opportunity, because he was in my he just sought an appointment. I gave him a time of 3 o'clock, 1 hour prior to our meeting. But unfortunately, what happened is Chief Secretary fixed a meeting at 3 o'clock. So I put him waiting in my room, keeping an eye on our VC at 4 o'clock. And just to introduce, I will collect his number, mobile number, email ID, etc. And we will share it along with the minutes, because he is also one of the stakeholders, and being the CEO of all the technoparks in Kerala, the engineering colleges, teachers, departments can in fact surely think of collaborating with the CEO of IT parks. Of course, we all know Mr. Shashi was quite helpful and cordial But of course, he superannuated, and this time, rather than limiting our search within Kerala, Government of Kerala made a global search for, say, the Director of Startup Mission, just like Mr. Tapan Rayaguru, a person from Odisha came to Kerala to lead Kerala Startup Mission. While Kerala Cadre Officer Pranabjyoti led the Startup Mission of Orissa, so Orissa man came to lead the Startup Mission in Kerala. Now, John, of course, is a Keralite from Kottayam, and he was introduced to me by one of the very senior advisors to Planning Commission, and told that a very good talent from Kerala, studied outside, worked outside. Now it's a homecoming for him. So let us make use of this opportunity of convergence as well as work together. I always believe in making more allies in our fight to provide employment and entrepreneurship in Kerala. All well-meaning people, people with exposure, people with experience, and people with a good education will be always a very valuable ally. So that is why we welcome you, and kindly have the details in our IDRB website. Please look into and give us good suggestions, because you have the experience of engineering management, USA, consulting management, as well as startup formation and successfully selling it out. I used to tell the young startups that you need not retire from your startup. You may make it grow, sell it out, earn money, start big. And there are many, few people in Kerala, I know that they make startups, make it profitable, then sell it out and earn money, and do again further startups. Okay. So thank you very much. I know that you are quite busy with other things.
Yes.
I may solicit your mobile number,
Yes.
email ID,
Yes.
and I will share it with them.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Sojan Lal sir, you can deduct this much of time. You can debit this much of time from my schedule in the end of the session, because I'm just debiting this much of time from my account. Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. That was really an inspirational speech from John Thomas, and also thank you for introducing him. Let us hope that we shall have many untapped resources like him for the better convergence. Over to you, Pranabjyoti, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sodhanaji. Can the presentation be shared again? Respected TK Jose sir, the visionary and architect of this entire program, Shri Sujan Lal sir, Shri John Thomas, my colleagues in Irrigation Department, my colleagues in KIIDC, the startup representatives represented from Startup Kerala Mission. I have been given the opportunity to present for the second time the same topic, but with a lot of improvement from the last meeting. But still, for the convenience sake, some members may be new. I'm just introducing the first slide. This is the Kerala Irrigation Infrastructure Development Corporation, is a government of Kerala undertaking, and it's an accredited agency, also a special purpose vehicle for Kerala Water Resources Department. And it is engaged with large number of infrastructure works related to irrigation department and also many other departments. Can you go to the next slide? Directly coming to the business, in the last meeting, sir advised us to find out the gaps and challenges and what we can do. The gaps and challenges that is existing with us will be the opportunities for the startup. And in that way, we made a detailed analysis, brainstorming session among our team members. We have been able to find out few of the gap areas and challenges that we are confronting. I will just go one by one a little more. The first one is, of course, is the community micro irrigation. As our name suggests, we have been into irrigation infrastructure, and community micro irrigation, whether it is a survey of the contour work or whether it is a drone survey, satellite imageries, or survey of the civic component, making the design for the community micro irrigation. Once we collected these details on the basis of water, crop requirement, source of water, topography of the area, the purpose of making the detail DPR, then also designing and developing the software, then on the basis of that, in course of time, the supply and installation of mechanical components, the machineries, and various kind of sub-detailing of the technology, which need implementation, SCADA and automation, etc. There is a gamut of activities within the community micro irrigation component where KIIDC is having gaps and facing challenges if we want to full-scale roll into an organization of implementing the community micro irrigation project across department, including irrigation department in Kerala. And in this regard, the huge opportunity is lying for the startup, all these areas where they can actually help us in materializing our goal. The next, of course, is the area related to the dam desiltation. It's a very technical work where irrigation department has been doing for quite a long period of time. We have been doing dam desiltation work, and here we need to. It's a very mechanical and technology oriented work where starting from the dredger, JCB, booster pumps, then installation of plant at the site, creating surveillance system, and also the marketing component of the desilted material. All these things needs very matured kind of a strategy. And if some startups can come up, develop their expertise in this type of activities, we can also benefit. And the startups, as Shri.John Thomas was telling, that our problems, where the problems are bigger, the opportunities are also bigger. So definitely, we expect at least in this huge range of startups which are spreading across colleges, there will be some startups who will be interested. That's why we are marketing it on our part, so that let them come and join us. Another area where we are finding some gaps and challenges, and we are also expecting this, our startup Kerala mission can help us in this. One is the Heal Aqua, is one mineral water brand that KIIDC is producing and marketing as of now. In this aspect also, along with the technology and marketing and regular monitoring of the plant, installation of automation and all these kind of things, the lot of gaps are existing, and these gaps can be taken up by certain startup as a challenge, and they can build a business model on the basis of it, and there can be an effective collaboration with KIIDC to bring better successes in marketing and successful journey of Heal Aqua with KIIDC. Then there are certain specialized structures which we are doing within the department, and KIIDC are also implementing large number of such projects, where also in terms of designing, development, the many startups can come up. We are recently have been engaged in implementing some of the project of tourism department, and these designs also, many of them are based on heritage and vernacular architecture, where also interested department of architecture in the colleges, they can come up and help us definitely in all these regards. And of course, within our department also, there is Kutana Flood Management Scheme. We are also in LFP and Kottayam, lot of schemes we are implementing, which have some specific scheme-based needs. Some of these, during our last meeting with a startup we presented, which can be also taken up by startup. Next. Then, as you all know already, in reverse innovation, a lot of discussion we have done. This is the list of like activities that we have find out where KIIDC has potentiality to move in, but they will have to definitely build a partnership with upcoming organizations for capacity, in-house capacity building, because we have to also grow, as well as we can also all these like installation of power panel, electrical consultancy, landscaping, softscaping, and streetscaping, and also certain other areas like installation of aerobic bins, incinerator. All these lists we have given. So these are actually already we have identified within ourselves where the startups can come up from the colleges and join us. Next. The initiatives from the last meeting, what we have taken. So once the first initiative that we have taken from the last meeting is that we have done a brainstorming session within our team to find out sir said 4 points. What are the problems, how to solve the problem, that is the existing gap. And once this gap is there, how we can address that gap and how we can collaborate in addressing that gap. So these are the 4 things, tasks we were given to us. And on the basis of that, a meeting was conducted between KIIT, C and team member. We have formulated a team that will be mentioned soon. In there has been a meeting as sir instructed with Sri Tapan Raiguru after discussion with the Kerala Startup Mission CEO. And on 19th of March, last Friday, our team visited KIIT, our KIIT team visited KSUM, and they had a very detailed presentation about our existing gaps and challenges to the team of KSUM designated for this particular purpose, so that they can organically link to the startup societies in the various engineering colleges. And in that meeting, in detail, all the issues that I just mentioned, one by one has been discussed, and point-wise strategies has been prepared. And from our team, we have appointed our Deputy General Manager, KIIT, Srimati Shobha K. Nair, as the nodal officer for this initiative. Next. This is our team member. It looks like Terence Anthony, he is the CE, Shobha K. Nair, Swapna Lalita Ranjan, Deputy Manager. Then Rajesh is our PRO, and Arya Arnold is the project coordinator in PMU. This 5-member team will be constantly engaged with Startup Kerala Mission for materializing the strategy they have worked out. Next. As a way forward, what we have done, among all the list of the project, of course, community micro-irrigation is something that where we find we have huge opportunity and potentiality. It matches with our dream and as an organization. So we want to follow up rigorously, and we need active and very strong engagement with Startup Kerala Mission, various colleges, their startup society, startup organizations. Now, to create, we have also decided to provide space in all our KIIT offices for the startup who will be coming and who will be willing to work with us. We can also go with them, and they can also come with us, and we are willing to provide space to them so that collaboration and moving ahead can be much easier. And to analyze and identify the proper startup KSM, after analyzing the gaps, now this will be a continuous process what we will be doing, and also we'll be preparing schedule now the moment we come to know about the interested startups or startup who are already working there, and continuously one-to-one basis we will be working out the gap address and the opportunities. Next. And since the last meeting, now today Dr. Arun Surendran, who is the strategic director and principal of Trinity College of Engineering, Thiruvananthapuram, who will be actually talking about the 2 startups who have been working in a place like even Idiki in micro irrigation. And these are 2 startups who have been already working in the field of irrigation and water. So how we can collaborate in the first level as a model, he will be, Dr. Arun sir will be telling in detail. However, this we can take as an example and how we can take it forward. We are hoping that this month itself, as given talk to me by the CEO of Startup Kerala, Sri Raiguru, we'll be able to find out quite a number of startups in this field, and we are willing to come up with all kind of necessary things that we need to do in building up this collaboration and to move ahead. And in this way, I come to the end of my slide. I want, like the success of the earlier mission of DPR preparation under the able leadership of our sir, I hope in this term also we will be able to make a mark and a continuous and serial success we can make in terms of collaboration with the engineering colleges and also with the budding startups. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sri Pranabjyoti sir. The details of the opportunities, the structure of the team, and the way forward was really very good inspiration for all of us. And also, we are looking forward for the other two new proposals from regarding the startups also. And also, just a small question, sir, regarding the space you said about the providing the space. Is it a free or what is the method or mechanisms you would like to discuss?
Yeah, it will be free. Yeah,
okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. We'll give it free because we want it there.
Okay. So that means across Kerala, this KIIDC office can be used for free.
Yeah. Within our office, we'll give it.
Yeah. So that's definitely really good. So
yeah, we'll do it. Thank you.
So they will get the mentorship also along with this. So that's good. Thank you, sir.
We want also to build our in-house capacity also in this way. That's what we want to give.
Okay, like the youngsters when join with this all this group, so the energy, as Joe sir was telling, so the initial
in KIIT we have a very strong team which can definitely take it forward. So only they need that this kind of a collaboration where they get energized and they can.
So that's a very inspiring decision from the government side as well as I am sure that I can see that Arun Alex is smiling this because he wanted to bring more people from the KTU side also. Thank you, sir. And now I request Sri Venkateshapathy IAS, MD of KWA and the Director of GWUD. Over to you, sir. Venkateshapathy, sir.
Thank you very much, Sojan, sir. You can enable the share screen for me.
This Eldos, yeah.
Is it visible? Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir. Yeah, it is visible. Please go to the display mode and you can proceed, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much. I have taken I'll make a slightly longish presentation. I have taken 15 minutes for that. So kindly bear with me. I'll go one by one. This is my 12th presentation I'm making. So all the meeting essence have been put in this particular PPT. And it's more like starting afresh. So I basically have 6 aspects I have put up for KWA and 3 aspects for GWD, which have been already explained in the previous meetings. However, I would prefer to concentrate on the 5th part, which is problems, gaps, and adaptive research that we are concentrating on. So I'll go one by one. For Kerala Water Authority, the first one is startups. The startups have been enabled to join Kerala Water Authority as empaneled contractors. They can come up as D-class contractors. The first point is a startup company formed by an entrepreneur having degree by diploma in civil, mechanical, and registered with the Kerala Startup Mission. You can directly come and join as a D-class contractor. The opportunity is open for you. There are lots of works that can be taken up. And for C-class contractors, a startup company formed by an entrepreneur having degree diploma in civil, mechanical, and registered with the Kerala Startup Mission, and they should have a minimum paid up capital of 5 lakhs, should have a registered office with facilities for e-tendering. This is the condition. So a new startup also can come and join as D-class contractor. An established one can also register with Startup Mission and then come and join with the KWA. Now, this is the opening that we are providing. Now, let me give you the opportunity what lies in front of you. JEEVAN mission, total number of households is 67.15 lakh household connections. 1/4/2020, 17.5 lakh connections have been already given. Administrative sanction for 2021 has been 21.64 lakh connection, which is approximately 6,660 odd crores. Work already awarded is 13.39 lakh connections. Work has been awarded. The works are worth 8.3 lakh FHTC, which will be approximately 2,500 crores, is yet to be awarded. So it can be taken up by the C-class contractors also. Furthermore, the 28 lakh rural households have to be given connections. That will complete our 67.15 lakh rural household connections. which will be approximately worth 13,160 crores. It may come down with efficient planning and execution. It may come down. Then we come to the urban part. Jal Jeevan Mission Urban has been declared. 35 lakh rural households have to be provided with the FHTC. So once the startups comes and registers with the KWA, they have lots of work to do. Means you have lots of work, and your integration or your tie-up with the KWA will continue for a long time. Now, pipe testing is one aspect which we have been I've been pushing through for a long time. Pipe testing is basically we have the pipes that has to be provided for all these water supply and sewerage connections. SIPET is the only agency. Earlier we used to have smaller agency, the missions, the companies. What happened was the quality was not properly maintained, and so we had lots of issues. Example is Alappuzha. Pipe testing was not carried out properly, and there are several pipe bursts also. Now we have only SIPET as a single agency who is doing pipe testing, and it is 0.7%, 0.5% for the in-house and 0.7 for the out of the state as well. Now, engineering institutions and the colleges, they have expressed willingness to be part of the pipe testing for KWA, and these are the 7 institutions who have said that yes, we want to do it, and the training has been provided. Some of them have been taken to the SIPET testing center also, and I have already shared the standards that needs to be followed for this pipe testing also. Now, this can be taken up by the colleges, and they can have their interns joined for this pipe testing, while you can give them training in the presence of a faculty, and you can do the actual pipe testing also. Once the institution set up a lab facility, pipe testing setting up lab facility as per the standards, as per the requirements, then it needs to be informed to KWA. There will be an inspection at the site by authorized officers from KWA. Once that is done, there will be an empanelment of these institutions to be part of the pipe testing. Once it is done, it will be ratified in the authority, and you also become part of the entire activity of pipe testing. Let me put across one simple factor. The entire work for Jal Jeevan Mission, we found that approximately 15 to 20% of the works are purely pipe purchase. Now think about a 0.1% that ends up around 10 crore rupees. So 10 crore rupees is in the offering for the institutions to come and grab. Furthermore, we will be going for many other connections as well. So there is a huge opportunity lying in front of us. Online, it has been already explained, online awareness program has been done, and some of the institutions have already attended it. Now coming to the third part, which is an exciting one. Let us see how KWA has performed. If you ask me how much water is produced, I have an approximate value. How much has been built? Yes, I have a value. Now what happens is there is no automation or automatic measurement of the total quantum of water that is produced, total quantum of water that is being provided, and how much I am getting as a revenue part. So when we calculated approximately, we could see that 40% of the produced water is not reaching the consumer. One of the reasons that was specified was 20% of the water mains are old and corroded. Not only the pipes, the specials and the fittings are also we are unable to see. 70% of the leaks are not reaching the surface. So these are subsurface leaks. Now, if we can have a mechanism, not directly measuring how much leakage is happening, but by indirectly measuring the pressure, the flow, the actuals, it needs, there should be a device, a mechanism to understand how much it should flow and how much is the actual flow. Then we will be able to control and know whether there is a corrosion or there is a leakage. Now, one of the techniques that we can do is modern technology for pipe bar leak detections that can be done. GIS-based network diagrams also can be put across. What we are doing now is the current assets are being mapped in the GIS platform and it is loaded in the KWA website itself. So if you go to KWA website, you will see that the pipes also you can see where exactly the pipes are, and we have marked almost 15% of our assets, both subsurface as well as surface assets also. Then we must have an active leakage control. The active leakage control doesn't wait for the leakage to happen, rather it detects prehand and then addresses the issue. And then we should have smart networks with indicators, with IoT devices which can give us an output. Now, what is the role of an academic institution? Here, academic institution can chip in with innovative technologies for identification and leakage of pipe leakages or any other type of corrosion, etc. 1 crore has been set aside in the 21-22 budget of KWA under innovation head. So this can be utilized for it. So this is also for grabs. Now, the second part is the automation. What we can do is all our pump houses can be GPRS based pump controller can be present, which will ensure that the remote on and off operation of the pumps can happen. Now I have pump operators doing only one job, which is switching on the pump, and for 8 hours they need not do anything, and then at the end of 8 hours they have to switch off or hand over that particular issue to the next shift individual. So practically I am wasting a human resource for doing a switch on and a switch off button with a single finger. So this needs to be changed. If an automatic system can be put across, we are actually doing some of it. If it can be made available, then it will be useful for operation of our pumps. Automation system for our WTP and STP also has to be in place. Water treatment plant and the sewage treatment plant also. Then there should be a SCADA system for smart control of distribution network. I would prefer that a screen, say 10 by 10, is in front of my office or in my room, in the boardroom, which will show me where exactly the leak is about to happen with the help of IoT devices, and where actually it has already happened, and how it can be, how efficient a pump is running, and how much water has been pumped. Say I'm sitting here in my office in Trivandrum, I should be able to know what is happening in Kasaragod unit, Kannur unit, as well as in Aluva unit. And this can be done by development of a ready-to-use plug-and-play type controllers for wireless automation of pumps. A simple device which will do this on-off operation based on the indicators from the field. And it should have a capability to monitor and control from a central location. That I would prefer to do. Now, flow and pressure sensors, we would prefer to have non-destructive type of a flow and a pressure measurement. The current technology or the orientation for exact measurement is destructive type, which is basically cutting the pipeline, putting across a pressure meter or a flow meter. It may be accurate, however, it requires a shutdown period of 8 to 10 hours. I cannot afford that in Trivandrum or in Kochi. However, I need to know how much is the flow. So already existing flow meters are there. This can be calibrated against the non-destructive flow meter and pressure meter, and it can be recalibrated so that I get the exact value. Pressure meters needs to be put across. Quality meters with real-time updation. Quality meters which will tell me what is the quality of water. There are 7 parameters for getting NABL accreditation, and these parameters can be monitored online, and the inputs can be received by me, and I would prefer to put it in the website also in the GIS platform. Now, automatic machines, this is one of the Bandicoot is one of the machines done by college, TKM College, and They have already formed a startup mission and they have spread their wings to Hyderabad, Bangalore and other places also. Such types of machines, it has to make few modifications. Once that comes out, all our manholes cleaning can be done by this machine. Already we have a machine operating in Trivandrum. Next one is adaptive research. Adaptive research is you do something in your lab and you want to experiment in the field. You know the meaning, but I am giving a 10% for adaptive research of my budget. My budget is approximately 700 odd crores, in which I will be setting aside 35 to 40 crores for doing this adaptive research. So the institution, all they need to do is, if it is a good one, a technology which is a proven one in a limited scale, it can be taken up in a massive scale at the next level. I would bring your attention to the two circles that has been drawn here. This is basically a bigger pipeline, a housing pipeline, which can be put in the NH road or in the railway crossing, etc. Every time what happens is we dig up the road, we lay a small pipeline. After that, we forget. Next option is we have to dig it again, put another pipeline. Now, instead of that, there is a huge housing pipeline. Once that is put across, which crosses the road, you can utilize it for our sewerage measurement. It is represented as the gray colored one, the sewerage, and the drinking water pipeline can be in the dark blue color. Maybe a coaxial line, electricity line, or maybe a BSNL line or a Geo line can be available, made available within this housing pipe itself. It was an idea given by a startup and a company. Now, let me put across the existing problems. Now, if you can see the existing problems, first one is the energy management. There are 260 high tension pumping station and more than 2000 low tension water pumping stations. Now, energy efficiency is a very important factor. There is similar to a depreciation for a civil component, there is a depreciation associated with these pumps also. Every year, the pumping efficiency and the energy efficiency also decreases. Now we have to do energy audit. The expected solution I have put it, preliminary audit on the energy consumption pattern in WTPs and pump houses can be carried out. Standardized designs for electrical and mechanical installations can be put across, and power factor management can be taken up. It is similar to an O&M contract wherein the startup missions can be given this opportunity. I would prefer to put it across like this. The more you save, a percentage of that saving will come to you rather than a fixed amount. So that way, the more the efficiency, more you are going to gain. So that is how it has been put across. The second one is operation and maintenance. O&M for regular WSS are managed through running contracts. Now these running contracts are done by few of the contractors and they don't go for a yearly renewal also. And our people also are not following it in a strict manner. If the repetitive procedure can be avoided, it can lead to increased efficiency, and we would prefer to have a proper O&M manual device, and we are working on it. The startups, for their financial stability, they can take up some of these O&Ms, albeit a small one. It will be good for these institutions. Then they can try the other aspects also. The schedule of rate for electromechanical components also can be fixed on. Now, water quality analysis is also there, which is an existing problem. Data regarding water quality of sources is available, but it is available in different labs. 52 labs are there. These data are spread across. Now, we need to convert all these things and put it in a GIS platform so that the water sources are also there, the quality of water is also there, and we can have good planning also, good planning for the future and for new areas also. Now, the sludge management is a major problem. We have one big STP unit at Punnapra, Thiruvananthapuram. Sludge is generated on a daily basis. While treated effluent can be shifted, means the water can be put across to Parvati Putana. Now we don't have a mechanism for disposal of this sludge. Now this sludge, what it is done, it is put in the dumping area in the same locality. This will not work. For 5-6 years we have been doing that. Now we need to have a proper sludge management. Maybe a waste to energy unit or a small unit can be available, wherein you can recharge the power into the existing electricity line can be thought about. Now gaps. Now problems I have mentioned, these are the problems that we are facing. Now these ones we need to address urgently. The gaps are wherein we feel that needs to be done, but no mechanism is available as of now. The asset mapping is being carried out through a GIS platform and is being put across also. We would prefer that a completely digitized asset map in a real time is available to everyone. A generation of route maps for customized maps based on the asset groups. For example, if I am a consumer, say in Vadidakad, then I must know from where my water is coming from. That is the point of source. Welcome pump house. Then which water treatment plant is doing my water treatment? That I need to know through which line it is coming through, what is the route it is taking, at what pressure it is coming to my tap, and what quality is the water that is being received by me. So these are the parameters that needs to be available online also. Now, use of metallic and non-metallic pipe locators and the ground penetrating radars, some of them are available with KWA, with which we can map these assets also. The previous gap is automation of pump houses and WTPS. What we have started with is automation of pump houses. Few have been made automized. Now all the pumps, not all the pumps, 270 numbers have been selected. 214 have been already completed. We want to do for all the 2000 numbers. So if an advanced technology is available, it will be really nice. A software for centralized monitoring and control is also necessary. Now, material transaction, we have lots of pipes lying around in different parts of Kerala near the site. Material software, material management software is available. However, there is no way of transaction. Use of this transaction is not available. And then the board has given a sanction for auctioning of 50 crores worth of materials which are old, but it has not been done because the software could not get all the details, and so it is running into problems. Now the fourth part is self-reading and the billing application for consumers. Now I have put it in bold. If a mobile application is developed whereby consumer himself can register the reading, generate bill, and make payment. So I would prefer to believe the consumer, whoever is taking it, so that he clicks the photo. When he clicks the photo, I take the GPS data also. He enters the data, he or she enters the data. We fully believe the consumer, at least the domestic consumers, and they can generate their own bills and then pay it off. I have no issues with that one. Now, adaptive research, what type of things can be done? Automated detection and removal of chokes or blockages in sewer lines. Now, this is where your labs may be doing some experiments. It can be taken out here. Only when there is a water outflow or leakage, only then we realize that there is some chokes or blockages. We should know how much percentage is actually flowing, how much has been blocked. That needs to be taken up. Intelligent water network, I need not explain, already it was specified earlier. It gives us the data basically saying that there is a leakage. There is a free flow in a particular area. It is not an open pipeline. It can be a leakage. That type of intelligent network has to be present. Smart monitoring system for STP's sewerage treatment plant. Now, I'll have to go to Muttatara sewerage plant to get all the details. However, some details like flow of water is available. The quality of water and others are not directly made available. I would prefer that all the sewage treatment plants similar to the water treatment plant, should have all these data available. It should be viewable to everyone. Now, coming to the sewerage aspect, which is again a huge area. When we talk about KWA, it has two pillars. One is the water supply, second one is the sewerage network. Startup missions can prepare the DPRs, execute and implement projects. O&M can be taken up by these agencies. Several tasks are there, several challenges are there. I am not going into all of them since we are trying to do new one. Once the institutions attach with us, you can do the research, you can do better things. Now, what is expected is getting support from the academic institutions for surveying and preparation of DPR. What we are doing is a GIS-based, GPS located networking system. Once this is done, it can be generated in a day's time for entire Kerala. Entire networking can be developed, sewerage network can be developed in a day's time. But ground truthing has to be done. For that, we require plenty of workforce. The academic institution with their 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th semester kids can help us in doing it. And technology transfer from institutions where consultants are also looked upon, and 100 surveyors from KWO can be provided. So these are all the aspects. I've just put it all these things as smaller ones, smaller points. A future plan is also there. We are working in that particular direction. The institutions can chip in. Groundwater department, I have only 3 things. One is the well census. Already institutions were doing it. 1,637 wells out of around 80 lakh wells have been surveyed. However, the exams have started and the institutions have said that they will continue with the well census after exam. So these are the panchayats which have been selected by the institution. Any panchayat, any ward can be taken up, which has not been already taken up by the institution. The rate has been changed from 10 rupees per well to 32.5 rupees per well. There is a ELIGIBILITY app with which it can be taken up. Now, the second aspect is the shallow piezometer drilling and construction. 600 odd wells from Kerala Groundwater Department and 1,400 odd wells from Central Groundwater Board is deciding which area is critical, semi-critical, etc. We require at least 5,000 number of wells to determine for such a huge area, and work order has been issued only for 244 and 60 numbers have been completed. Now, the C-class contractor or a D-class contractor can also chip in doing that. You have a very good equipment which is similar to this automatic measurement and the transmission. We would like to try it on experimental basis also. Artificial recharge, we are very much concentrated on this particular aspect. 10 crores has been set aside in the next year. Our target is every single panchayat should have 5 units. 5 units has to be taken up. It can be Anganwadi, village office, PHC, government office, panchayat building, and we are targeting approximately 5,000 structures in 21-22. Now, these are the field trainings provided. By and large, I want to impress upon both the academic institutions and the startups that we have lots of challenges in KWA and the groundwater department. The opportunities are there for you. You can immediately fill up the gaps that are existing in the system, address the current problems that we are facing, innovate and do improvements in the existing system also. This is what I want to convey. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much for your elaborate speech. I think that it is very much elaborative, and some of the problems which when we are looking into that, usually I believe that the major companies usually is to do such a massive projects. And also your idea for a consumer to generate the own building is a very good, nice idea. So I think in even KVCB also can use it by reducing the meter readers. So that's really good. Sir, a small question to you, sir. You said about the well survey 10 rupees to 32 rupees. There is a bit of confusion. Is it for all engineering colleges or it's only for this, what do you call this?
Kudumbashree.
Kudumbasri, is it only for Kudumbasri or all engineering students also?
No, actually, we had a full discussion with the technical team. Had a full discussion with the government of India. They are yet to release the orders. So we have impressed upon them that Kudumbasri is also doing it. Our colleges is also doing it. So once we see that order, we have impressed that the rates have been increased from 10 rupees to 32.5. So it will be provided to the colleges and institutions also which are participating. We are expecting a government order to come like that.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. So I think now we are running short of time. 30 minutes lagging is there. So I request all the remaining speakers to cut short your timings. And also all the previous speakers kindly share your presentation to the chat box so that every one of us will get instantly, as well as we'll be able to post it also. Now I request Shri Biju D, Chief Engineer of IDRB. Over to you, sir.
Respected Joe sir, respected Pranab sir, Venkateshapathy sir, Shri.John Thomas, respected Sojanlal sir.
Biju, I have a small suggestion. We are regularly meeting just like a family members. There is no need of wasting your time with all this salutation and all. This is not a formal public function. Please avoid all these things. Mutually, we all know each other. When a new member joins, welcome them. So go straight away because we have already running out of time. Please go to the crux of the matter. Forget about, we are not bothered about these type of formalities. Come to the content. Okay.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir. I have the presentation regarding the enabling startups in the water resource department. We had a couple of discussions with our team, and based on this, this presentation is prepared from the rank of superintending engineers and chief engineers. I have got the 4 table of contents in this. One is the first is the unfolding induction of the startups, that is the unfolding the prospects, and the second is the problem metrics, existing, emerging, progressing, and the future problems are there. 4 types of issues are there, and the mode of operations is ensuring the maximum outreach to the colleges, and the 4th one will be having the way forward for the how we can run this ahead. So that what are the prospects which we have in the water resource department due to this startup. Actually, the water resource department has got the effective conservation of the water management resources in this, and so we will be we have got startups to had new innovations and actually to get new thoughts for giving this new systems which can be coming up, and the new jobs and the economic growth, and it will be bringing more value to the productivity. And I've got a few 21 problems. I will go straight since we have having this shortage of time. Actually, before that, we had WRD had met with Kerala Technical University, and we had a round of discussions with the Honorable Vice Chancellor Madam in this regard, Rajashree Madam in this regard, and after that we had brought up this, listed up these issues with our discussed with our team and brought up these issues, which I will bring forward now. The problems metrics which are existing and the emergence. The first is regarding the main thing which we are having is the pollution in the water bodies, and what are the effects of the pollutions in the water bodies. The trash and the gross solids are clogging the waterways, and the sediments and the fine solids are leading to the siltation, and it will be reducing the flow of the rivers and the capacity of these rivers. And there's also issues regarding the chemical pollution, and next is regarding the water hyacinth, which is caused by the algal bloom, and biological contamination due to the intrusions of this adjacent toilets and all those other things to the water streams. So these were the problems, one of the main problems which was highlighted. And what was the ingenious ways of the treating this? We were asking this for the for getting the solutions. These solutions are indicative, and it is not exhaustive, and we are bringing this to this forum so that we can have certain solutions based on these things. That is for the ingenious ways of treating the wastewater, and sensor-based internet for of these technologies for ascertaining the availability of this water quality, and this automated water quality testings and sensors and alert systems for based on the when the water quality is subsiding, or there should be an alerting system. And what are the solutions which has to be done in this wetlands like Kutanad area, and what is the automated devices for the detection and collection of the trash and the solid pollutants, and the utilization of this water hyacinth, as I've told, which is a very big disaster in this in the main of the water bodies. And without this movement, we have to have a solution with wherein we can remove this and we can use it extensively for some other utilization in a productive manner. That is one thought we can have. Next is regarding the urban flooding. The flooding part we had done successfully. We were having a successful story, especially in the Operation Breakthrough in the Cochin area, and inadequate. And we were identified that that was due to the drainage. Drainage was one of the main problems, wherein the drainage was clogging in the many areas. And
Biju sir, can you hide the presenter view so that you will get a better visibility?
Yes.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
So the inadequate drainage and the drainage infrastructure was there. Then the terrain alteration, and what was the to reduce the seepage for reducing the flooding area, the flooding of this, and of course the encroachments. So we wanted to have a perfect management system for accommodating the rainwater, which is having a involvement of the various departments, including the groundwater, revenue, and also the local self-government departments and other associative agencies. And actually, we had brought into picture how we can have the sponge cities. We had a thought process earlier when we were having even symposium in this regard, where IDRB was the prime presenter in this regard. And for the managing of the wetlands, wetland management was how to keep the wetlands, because earlier in Kutanad area we were having 30% of the land was utilized for accommodating the floodwaters, and later on so that area becomes more fertile, and so it can be transformed later into fertile areas, and so on a cyclic basis that can be done. And the water sensitive urban design was there, and how to encroachments can be identified using some GIS mapping system. And what is the sustainable methods for dewatering? For example, in the areas where we are using this Petti Para system, we can go for a very good system and innovative system, wherein this can save money and as well as the power and the time. And so because this will be a continuous process. And water shortage or crisis was one of the main issues which was brought up also. So that is based on the unethical use of the surface water and this over extraction of the groundwater that was causing these issues. And so one solutions which was brought up as earlier, it was also included in this water authority's presentation, wastewater treatment and recycling, desalination process, and this how to have this better systems for treating this wastewater, and what is the underground water, how much holding of water is there, and identification of the groundwater over the over extractive regions, and this community water management plans and water usage management. Actually, since earlier in the earlier presentation it was there, so I am skipping those due to lack of time. And then the main crux of the from this perspective of the water resources department is regarding this dam safety. Dam safety, we need dam safety is one main area where actually when we spoke with KTU also, they were also having a very positive approach, because this is one particular course also they were planning to have in the future in any of these universities associated with the IDRB or KD. So they were also having a very positive thing. And what are the issues we were facing, because as in this context we were knowing the issues especially regarding this seepage of dams, then structural safety and identifying the vulnerable areas of these dams, and this underwater inspections as done. And we are having the next presenter who is doing this analysis of this dams safety by ascertaining the health of these dams. For this, we can identify some new methods for hydrographic surveys and for underwater inspection of the dams. And this reservoir management, next issue is the reservoir management due to climate change, especially during the flood times, wherein we are also utilizing this rule curves and all those things. So we need some pertinent solutions like the optimized reservoir operation systems and flood alert system and the real-time data which we are getting, and the flood warning and the flood forecasting system should be there. And we can have some innovative startups to have this develop in a very economical manner. And then the siltation in the water bodies, we are already in the process of desilting. And actually, during this desilting procedures, what we are facing is that due to the proper picture of this desilted area and what is the quantum and what is the quality of the material which will be desilted. If we can have a proper assessment using some satellite imagery technique or certain other techniques, we can have this what is the total quantity of the sand will be there, and proper pricing and proper commercial viability for executing this project can be had in the very earliest stage itself. And regarding the manhole and the sewage cleaning, it was there in the water authority's first presentation, so I am skipping this. And then the next is regarding the irrigation management, and we can have this proper irrigation management for providing the apt quantity of water or the optimum quantity of the water, because optimum utilization of the resources for the maximum benefit of the mankind is called civilization. So similarly, the proper usage of water, especially during the monsoon season, will be more beneficial, so that more farmers will be benefited, more output will be there. So we can have an irrigation advisory system for farmers also, so that this can be properly implemented. In addition to that, as an appendix to that, we can have this, since Water Resource Department is holding the maximum length of canals in this state of Kerala, we need to have a proper monitoring system for how water can be delivered through these main canals and distributaries as well as the field booths. So for that, we need to have an automatic monitoring system and control and operations. And we can develop something for the efficient management of the shutters, not only in the dams, but also in the headworks and after the headworks. Once the water crosses from this and enters the main canal, there can be proper regulatory measures so that water can be diverted to the field booths. And agriculture automation, this is agriculture automation also. This is not profitable, and this can be also done by utilizing this precision farming and smart micro irrigation, which was also been earlier presented by Pranab sir. And then next is for the asset management. Asset management means we have to have the proper proper quantification of what are the assets which are there, and for this we need to have some smart solutions for this asset management regarding this water quality and as well as the water infrastructure, and how well and how meticulously we can use this. Actually, currently there is no digital database of this department assets, so that has to be had a proper system for effectively utilizing the water in the proper manner. Then the water body management, actually we are having the water resource information system, which has been already been developed under the axis of IDRB, and now actually this is it's only a one-time affair, but actually this water in these ponds and all those other bodies are actually we need to have a proper know-how, and availability context also to be understood. So this real-time water availability and real-time water quality measurements will be more beneficial, as we will be able to utilize this in a more beneficial manner, especially during the summer season. Then the real-time data acquisition system, we call it RTDAS for the subsurface and the groundwater.
The timing is, kindly see the timing, sir.
Yes. We need some monitoring sensors and real-time data transmission and dissemination through the web-based platform. The solar power project is one which has also been earlier spoken of. Then the geo intelligence services with the terrain models and mapping of this regarding this GIS platform, which has also been discussed, and global positioning systems and ground penetrating radars, and all these systems can be affected in a more better manner. And third-party evaluation by knowing what is the performance index of this each project can be identified, and we can plan it in a better manner to have more utilization. Then the sea erosion and the coastal defense system is one main thing which the department is having. facing the problem. So we need to have some very better systems to have a proper method for protecting the sea coast of the Kerala, and that is definitely having a very great issue now which we are facing, and definitely this will have more mileage to this solutions. And the climate data, for example, in the flood management, and this is for the disaster risk reduction, and for the all the plannings to be done. And the innovative construction techniques. Already we are facing these environmental issues due to the overcoring of these rocks and sand mining and all those things. So we need to have some other solutions wherein we can use recycling of plastic, and the sheet piles can be utilized for building up this retaining walls, for especially in areas where the sand and the soil parameters are very convenient to take up this in a better manner. So we can think of some indigenous, sustainable and cost-effective manners where utilizing recycled plastic and all those things can be utilized for this. The mode of operation is that we will be having all these will be posted in this IDRB website, and IDRB website actually we have created an online discussion forum integrated within this IDRB website, which we can discuss in the open forum if time permits. And KTU has agreed to ensure the maximum outreach to this 147 affiliated engineering colleges. And at this outset, I especially thank the efforts and the coordination with Arun Alex in this regard. And we will be having a one-day virtual outreach campaign, and the interest received in the college will be monitored through the MIS integrated with our IDRB website. And IDRB will be laying the foundation, and based on this only, we, as earlier told, we had a discussion with the Honorable Vice Chancellor of KTU, and this association has been, and it will be, the association will be formed through a MOU, which will be in the later stages, and one or two problems will be, we have identified on the pilot basis, and which will be shared with them on the next Monday. And there will be an expert panel for monitoring the faculties and the department engineers, and we will be having first line of discussion by April 14th, and the expected timeline for the for launching of these awards will be by the end of April, and we have slated this on by the April 21st. And these are the things which we were discussed with KTU, and we have the way forward is that this problem metrics will be updated with additional problems. As I told, this is only an indicative problems, and KTU will be ensuring the maximum outreach to the engineering colleges, especially for that 147 colleges, and one day's outreach campaign will be there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was a bit of a complex presentation, and I request that you kindly share the presentation to all of us so that we'll be able to follow it up later on also. So that's really good, and you have given a very comprehensive presentation. Thank you very much, sir. And now I request Shri.John from EyeRov, Retaliation. How about you, sir?
Good evening, all.
And also kindly see the timeline, please. Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I hope I am audible.
Yes.
Yeah, I will not take too much of time, because Mr. Biju sir has already highlighted one of the challenges or the problems with the dams particularly. So basically, my name is John. I am founder and CEO of EyeRov. We are a 4-year-old startup. We started back in 2016 into the vision of making underwater inspections and analytics of critical infrastructure like bridges, dams more safer and efficient. For the past 4 years, we have done almost 35 plus projects pan-India. We are also a funded company from GAIL and BPCL, and we were one of the top 8 industrial startups of 2018. Basically, the basic problem what we are solving is most of our critical assets need to be monitored timely and effectively. So, and as already mentioned, most of these inspections are done by manual methods, which are not done efficiently and also taking more time for these inspections. And there is a problem also associated with that is a lot of data is being generated, and the visualization of the data is not also proper. So I think most of these critical infrastructures need to be monitored better, assessed, and then given a proper rehabilitation and repairs for in a timely manner. We have been over the past years built multiple underwater drones, or called as remotely operated vehicle. That is a standard industry name. And over the years, we have progressed from 50 meters to even 200 meters, and in working in multiple water currents and sea states. So our product is already design patented, and we have already worked with some of the major clients such as BPCL in the past history. Yeah. So along with this is just an underwater platform, or called as an ROV. It comes with multiple payloads. So let's say in a use case where your waters are very murky, you would use a turbid water module, which is a patented module which is being developed by ourselves, so that you can even do inspections in zero visibility. Laser scalar is something which we have developed along with the product, so that you can measure what is the size of the crack or a hole in a dam upstream wall. And we have also cleaning systems, and even for metals we have thickness measurement systems. So along with the hardware, we have various payloads to do these inspections with lot more efficiency and to collect lot more data. So I'll just show you a short video so that you will get an idea how this operation is done. This is from a recent work we have done for Kerala State KSEB for Kallargutti Dam. The use case was that there was a trash rack, and it's a power generating dam, and there was a lot of objects like plastics, stones coming into the turbine, and they wanted to inspect the trash rack, and shutting down was a problem. So we fastly deployed the underwater ROV, and within a span of 2 years we were able to identify what was the exact defect of the trash rack. So there was a hole in the part of the trash rack, and we've identified the trash rack, and the authorities was quickly reverted back on the findings and did proper action on that. So we did this emergency survey for them for one of the dams actually. Yeah, so there will be control station also on the top. So you will be able to see all the videos and from the top, and you can assess what is the condition underwater in live condition actually. Yeah, these are some of the videos from underwater. Yeah. Then we have a platform which is a software platform, which is actually is a digital platform where you have all these data, videos and everything collected over the platform, so that as an end user or a dam owner, you have a better understanding and where X, Y, Z coordinate there is a defect or an anomaly is that. So we have this platform where you can visualize the entire data, and this platform also enhances the data which is collected. So when you have waters which are very hazy or it is not clear, we have the algorithms to enhance these videos, and you will for the end user, you will get the XYZ coordinate where the defect or the anomalies. This is some use case we have done for bridges. We have done almost 20+ bridges for Indian Railways. You will get the XY coordinate of all the red highlighted are the areas where you have an anomaly, whether it be a honeycombing or whether it be a leaching, any kind of defects that would be highlighted in the elevation drawing or in kind of these drawings actually. So we provide this analytics platform also. So basically, just to summarize, we provide very high quality data, better videos. There is a high amount of safety because there is no human involved, because since it is a machine operated, the works can be done very faster without any much of a safety or kind of regulations. We have a analytics platform which can give you the entire report in a computer screen and can be shared, and you have the live streaming of the data coming in to make immediate actions actually. So these are some of the clients we have worked with. BPCL we have done offshore inspections, Maersk we have done ship hull survey, DP World we have done port surveys, Indian Railways bridges, KSEB as I said already mentioned, and we have worked with various other organizations till now. 35+ assets we have done all over India, 1000+ under underwater hours and covered almost 7 states in the past 4 years actually. So coming to the applications we are looking at, particularly for WRD, in dams we are looking at inspections of sluice gate, intake gate, trash rack, stilling basin, apron wall. Also we can do, particularly one of the recent projects we are doing for BPCL is their pipeline inspections, inside pipeline, where they have not seen the condition of the pipeline section since its inception actually. So they have seen the pipeline condition after 20 years inside pipeline. Some of the projects currently we are doing is in line with what Biju sir was telling. One is bathymetry, actually the hydrographic survey, which we are looking at using unmanned surface vehicle, because existing technology inspection is using boats which have a limitation of the draft it can operate. So we are looking at unmanned surface vehicle, and also we are looking at NDT for further evaluation of the structural assessment actually. We also provide along with this, because most of the asset owner asks for whether you can, along with the underwater, can you provide aerial also. So we also provide that drone solution also. And these are some of the past works we have done. Currently we are doing inspections for Tungabhadra Dam, one of the largest dam in the country, and the work is almost in progress actually. This is the use case I was telling about, where we work with inside pipeline, where you are able to understand what is the condition of the asset actually. About myself, I did my master's from IIT Delhi and worked with Samsung and Gravorans before, and Punnapra is a mechanical engineering background from IIT Madras. We did our graduation together from College of Engineering, Trivandrum, 2006-2010. Yeah, thank you.
Sir, that was really an inspiring story from a youngster like you. And I'm sure that this will be a motivation for the youngsters who join, as well as definitely some of the things which you said will have a direct application within the current industry itself. That's really great, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now I request Shri.Anto from Lamaara Technologies.
Yes.
Audio,
Yes.
sir. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. So,
also short and brief. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I'll not go much into the technical side. I'll just brief about the idea that we are doing, the products that we have and everything. Okay. So I hope you can see my presentation. It's nice and clear, right? So myself, Anto Biju, I am the co-founder of Lamaara Technologies Private Limited. Just yeah. So my startup was founded in the year 2018. Just a minute. Yeah, I'll go like this. So we were founded in 2018. We were supported by Kerala Startup Mission. We have received the granting of prioritization grant and idea grant. We were the first student. We were a student startup which came out of St. Joseph College of Engineering in Pala in Kottayam. So we were the first student startup in India to raise an investment from Times of India for about 50 lakhs in the year 2019. I graduated in the year 2019. We hold a patent for a revolutionary water purifier technology. Our products are also basically into water purification. So we have this sack filter technology, which is 60% more cost effective than RO water purifiers. There is zero water wastage. It balances the pH of the water and requires minimal maintenance cost. So this is one of the key product technologies that we have patented over the period. We developed this along with the scientists in IMMT, Indian Institute of Mineral and Material Science Technology in Bhubaneswar. So this is one of the products that we have. It's a bottle that can purify water on the go. It's suitable for school students and everybody. You can purify river water, muddy water, and turn it into clean drinking water. So this was one of the flagship products that we had. And these are a few of the products and technologies that we process in hand. We have household water purifiers, which is smart, which constantly monitors water quality, including most of the parameters that is necessary to know if the water is healthy for drinking or not. We also have industrial level water purifiers, which is completely standalone, which completely works on solar panels. One of our key models is eco-friendly water purifiers, which consumes low power, and all of our systems are standalone. We have water ATMs, which dispenses water up to 30 liters of in cans and in 1 liter bottles. It has a subscription model. We have an app which is connected to these devices, so that people can avail subscription model for each of these from the water ATMs and household water purifiers. one of the coming up projects that we have in the household purifiers is that we are distributing smart water purifiers for free, and in subscription models. All the service and everything will be done from our side, from our team, and customers will have to pay for per liter cost, which is about 0.2 rupees per liter, which is really cost effective compared to all the other purifiers in the market as of now. We also have gravity-based filters. We are doing projects in the rural sectors of India, in villages and in rural communities. We are providing clean drinking water based out of gravity filters. So we have distributed a couple of filters during the Kerala flood situations. We have helped a lot of refugee camps get clean drinking water. And also we are working in the states of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala as well. So in the product, if you compare our product with the existing water purifier companies, what we have in hand is that our purifiers are cost effective and also has the high, quality regards to the one of the prominent companies in the market, such as Aquaguard and Ket. So we constantly innovate on our purifier technologies, and we do that, and we try to bring as much as innovation in this B2C segment of the products as well. So one of the few problems that I saw in the last presentation that we had with KWA was that you brought up a problem statement for smart irrigation, smart micro irrigation purposes. So we have an excellent solution for this. We have a soil testing kit that we propose to give for this problem that you have put forward. So it's a smart sensing unit. So one of the we had a survey. We have been studying on this project for the last 8 months. So while doing a survey, we found out that more than 80% of the farmers in India, they do not have they do not have the proper yield or the optimum yield because of the lack of testing of their soils and such factors. So we found that farmers who did test their soil on the moisture content and how much water is to be irrigated in the proper way, they consumed less fertilizers and their yield was also in the optimum quality. So we tried to made several prototypes to help farmers in this particular field get the soil tested with our nano soil testing kit. So we are also incorporating this web. It's a web structure for water irrigation, drip irrigation purpose. So we integrate this testing as well as this web structure of drip irrigation all together, so the farmers themselves can get the data out of it. It's very simple to use, so you don't need an expert's guidance to for the farmer. The farmers themselves can monitor the water quality, and the display unit displays the parameters in real time for the water to be pumped out from the drip irrigation systems. So yeah, so I'm not getting into the existing technologies that are available and how it is better for us. I will share my presentation. You can go through it. So yeah, so in our solution that we place, we are not just monitoring the moisture content in the soil. Rather, we measure the pH, EC, organic carbon, saturation, soil texture, nitrogen, phosphorus, all these critical parameters required for the paddy field growth and most of the crops in India. We are doing that, and we can test that through our monitoring system, real-time monitoring system, and we are incorporating that with the smart drip irrigation system to automate most of the field irrigation system, so that we can reduce the labor intensive processes in these fields and increase the crop quality. The second problem statement that I heard from the last presentation was that having a real-time water quality analysis in ponds and water bodies and real-time water quality measurements. So as you know, we have been doing a project on fish farming, so particularly in fish ponds throughout Kerala. So we have been helping the farmers test the pond water quality on a regular basis, so that the fish culture or the fish produce can be increased up to 7-folds. So that is what we are working on right now. So how can I will explain how this will help in testing the ponds in our state and having a real-time water monitoring system. So what we do is that there are a lot of chemical and food waste coming into the ponds and into the river bodies in our state on a constant basis. These are getting a lot of chemical waste, and a lot of parameters are polluting these rivers on a constant basis. One of the key parameters of and problem for the aquatic life and the health of the ponds in our state is the pH levels in the water. So waters are turning acidic, rivers are turning acidic, and there is no way to maintain this. So with our sac filter technology, with a pH balancing system, we were able to balance the pH of small fish culture ponds. Okay, so I'm not proposing to put that in a larger scale. We can implement those things in fish ponds only. But what we can do is that we can monitor the real-time water analysis of every pond in the state, and in a very low-cost method. So we have the monitoring system, and we have alert system which is connected to an app, which will alert the concerned authorities that the water is getting polluted. There need to be a solution regarding this. That you have to take care of this. We have an alert system based on all the major parameters that can be measured using electrical equipments. So it is not there is always a constraint that your water taken to a lab testing facility and and tested there. There are a lot of hundreds of parameters which can be measured in the lab, but there are restrictions when it comes to electrical measuring of the water parameters. So we are doing our maximum to increase the efficiency of that. But we to get to know if the pond is healthy or not, and the water quality on a constant basis, we have all the parameters which is tested on a constant basis and on a daily basis. Also, the water inlet and outlet from a pond or from a river can also be monitored from these devices. So these are portable devices, completely solar powered. So one of the key factors that we stand for as a company is that we are completely eco-friendly. We do not, we try to be as eco-friendly as possible, and most of our systems are standalone. Thus comes the solar power plant. So these quality monitoring systems implemented in the ponds is completely solar powered, and we will be able to implement this in the ponds of Kerala. So this is my take on these two proposals, and as you have seen, those are our products in the water purification sector. Please do help us know how we can assist you with this, and we are more than happy to help the Kerala Water Authority and the concerned departments with all these technologies that we have and the products we have. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Anto. And let me record what Mr. John Thomas sir was said, that he was mentioning that it's always a business problem. Bigger the problem, the bigger success. I think you are most fitted into this category, and I wish that lots of way to go ahead. At very younger age, you could start up with a very exciting and very higher impact problems you could solve and start this. Really is amazing, and best wishes to your entire team, and also to the previous speaker, John, EyeRov, as well as your also team was done an excellent job. So both the startups, we congratulate each one of you, and our once again best wishes for a remarkable progress, and we are really proud of your achievement. Thank you. And also kindly, all the previous speakers, kindly share your presentation. And to the next speakers, I am just once again requesting that we are slightly running short of time, more than 30 minutes, so people doesn't want to sit for a long time. Now I request Professor Dr. Susan Jacob, HOD of Carmel College of Engineering and Technology, Punnapra, Alappuzha, sorry. Over to you, madam.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is it audible?
Yes, yes, please.
Sir, I have only little few doubts or more clarifications regarding the agenda. So the assignments which it is already mentioned in the concept notes. The first one is regarding the setting up of labs for pipe testing. And our managing director has already given a few details regarding the testing of pipeline for the JJM. Now we know that the JJM is basically a mission which is funded by Government of India, and it may be completed within 1 or 2 years. That means all the house connections may be provided, or it has to be completed within 1 or 2 years. So that within that, after that, what would be the sustainability of the pipe testing laboratories, which the institutions may or have to be set up? And the pipe testing laboratories, which if you want to set up, it has to be got accredited by NABL. Then only our results will be accepted by the pipe manufacturers. And as per the norms of the BIS standards, or as per the norms, there are two steps testing of pipes. First one is the manufacturer's site itself. That means immediately after manufacturing the pipe, before delivery to the site, the representative of the department, along with the quality control manager of the company, has to test the pipes. And then once it is accepted, then only it will be delivered to the site. So that means if there is if we are challenging, that means if our institutions are doing some testing after the pipe which is delivered to the site, and then we are challenging the results of the initial testing, then the manufacturers will again challenge it. If it is not accredited by NABL, then definitely there will be chances of more complications. So then again, the sustainability of that laboratories, it may to set up a lab which has to be got accredited by the NABL, it may be costing nearly 50 to 60 or 75 lakhs. So then once the JJM works are finished, then how can we sustain the capital which we have already spent? So then another doubt is here our managing director has already mentioned that there are some few training programs have done for the faculty or some instructors for the pipe testing. So then how to utilize these trained people currently if we are not setting up a lab, pipe testing laboratories? And here it is mentioned that already some 10 to 12 colleges has already submitted their willingness for setting up the labs. And then is there any chances of more labs, or how to select the colleges while giving permission for setting up the lab, or to give the pipe testing approvals? So these are some of the points I want to get more clarity. And then regarding the other assignments, that is the groundwater well sensors, then the micro irrigation, all these things we can support. And then whether the institution can register as a startup unit, that means the research and consultancy wing of the institution can register as a startup wing along with the students, but it is not directly the students registering. So these points I need little more clarifications, and otherwise the other things we will discuss it in elaborate after the next meeting. Okay, thank you, sir.
I think Venkateshapathy sir, I think it's related to your presentation. You may be able to answer this.
Yeah, first and foremost, JEEVAN mission is a long shot. We want to finish up in 2023, and KWA has a history of never completing any project on time. So we are trying to push it before time. So you are right, madam, maybe 1 or 2 years we will try to finish it. So JEEVAN mission, rural is the only thing that will be completed by 2023. After that, JEEVAN mission, urban is there. Furthermore, the quantum of works that the KWA is currently doing, greater than 1 crore project, is 7,400 crores worth of project. KIIDC, ADB, RK. So I don't think there is a depth of any projects. Once the institution invests, you are not solely dependent on KWA alone as your single consumer. While we will not depend on one institution to do our pipe testing. Similar way, you have a capacity to do for others also. Now, KWA opens up that field for you. So, JEEVAN mission, rural, JEEVAN mission, urban, ADB, RK, KIIDC, and the state plan works. Altogether, we are talking about around 30-40,000 crores. It's not a small quantum. It's not going to be completed within a short duration. So, the sustainability factor does not arise. JEEVAN mission urban, yes, we want to finish it by 2023, but all other projects will still continue. There is a huge gap in that one. The second part, you have raised a relevant question. Here, the institution has to utilize the linkages with the manufacturers also. Now, as an empaneled agency, you are not pushed to do a visit in Kolkata. Now, some other institution will do it, which has a branch in Kolkata, or we will rely on CPET to do it. But if it is done in Bangalore, or if it is done in Pollachi, then the institutions in Kerala can take it up. No two institutions will test the same pipes. Let me be very clear on that one. You are not going to test something which is already tested, certified by another empaneled agency. That's not going to happen unless there is a crisis involved in that, similar to Alappuzha issue. You must be knowing that particular aspect. The third part is related to the startup missions coming in. I am not very sure about that. Maybe startup mission guys may be able to say about registering the institutional aspects. That I am not very sure.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for more clarifications. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, and thank you, Venkateshapathy IAS. Thank you very much. Now I request Dr. Arun Surendran, the Strategic Director and the Principal, Trinity College of Engineering, Thiruvananthapuram. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sojan Lal, sir. This is the first time I am part of this group, and it's wonderful to be part of such a great, illustrious group that is thinking about a serious 7th generation problem, because water is indeed a 7th generation problem that we should start paying attention to. Trinity College is a very small college, but that has helped us to be very agile when it comes to developing a startup culture. Way back in 2012, when I took charge of the college and I started working with the Technopark TBI, this was before it got renamed as Kerala Startup Mission, I understood that the chief problem with the startup culture in the state was not students, but it was the faculty. Because we couldn't get the culture into the campus as long as faculty stood in the middle and insisted on examinations and campus placements into Infosys or PSC coaching and bank coaching to be more important than actual knowledge of the hands-on engineering subject. Gradually, it has changed. We changed it in Trinity College by asking our young faculty to have startup companies because they could have access to the wonderful, smart, young human resources. They are guaranteed a salary and so on. And we primarily wanted to run an engineering college like a medical college, so that if you really have an engineering problem, you should be able to come to an engineering college just like a patient is taken to a medical college. So that culture we have kept up. And I would like to thank KIIDC, and it's a wonderful model, KIIDCs, that they are operating themselves as a company so that the interactions would be there and there would be a level of sustainability and permanence as we go through, because over the last few years, with due apologies to everybody here from the government side, we have found that the personnel, when they change on top, there is a lot of impact on how projects have been going on with the interaction level at our side. And great to see Arun Alex, part of KTU, having pulled this off. We have been in hundreds of meetings, but this is the first time I have been in a meeting where actual deadlines were mentioned by Biju sir about dates in April when things would be accomplished and we'll start moving forward. So 3 things which I always insist in Trinity, which is part of one of the things we implemented is called the Work As You Study WASE program. So one of the things is localization, where we have 147 engineering colleges spread across the breadth and length of this beautiful state. So there is a local engineering powerhouse presence anywhere you look. And so projects involving in that area, we should be able to do from the college side itself. Second is accountability, which is that something tangible has to be achieved in terms of some lives changed, some actual resources wonderfully utilized and so on, rather than just submitting reports, which we do ad nauseum whenever something is used. Now, there is a little bit of confusion because we have managed to collate the 2 terms, innovation and entrepreneurship. And that is a slight issue that many of us will end up facing, and I continuously keep facing, because an innovator need not be an entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur need not be an innovator. Very rarely we get combinations like Johnson and Anto who are sitting here. Wonderful to see those guys again after 3-4 years, because even when their currently defunct prototype used to be there. We used to meet at different startup mission meetings. See, that combination is very rare. To put it very bluntly in Malayalam, so there is usually a problem when it comes to presentations and getting funds and so on, which an actual innovator may not be able to do. So we need agencies like KIIDC, where we can look at innovators and develop them into startup companies. So that's a model that will come in very, very handy in the long term. So there are two faculty companies from Trinity. One of them is Krishnan Unni's Akutro Technologies. They are their current head office is outside the campus, but they have an R&D lab operating within campus. They've been doing some wonderful pieces with hydroponics, and earlier with the Venganur Kaliyur Panchayats, we tried the micro irrigation and the weather monitoring patterns, which even Anto was discussing. And then Professor Vijesh is from electrical department, and he has Letmac Innovations, which has been doing custom pumping and sprinkler business in the local area. Again, Venganur Kaliyur Pandichal Panchayats, which is where the college's general catchment area is. So I'm hoping we will get to go through the very detailed problem statements and come up with innovative solutions with IoT. Currently, we have asked, we are finishing a project for KCST for low-cost medical devices. And once again, the problem we are facing is that when it comes to actually delivering an innovation that can be useful to people, we need to go through a lot of the stringent testing and the standardization, which Madam was also mentioning. So those things we definitely need support, and it's wonderful to know that there is a team already in place which can help us. There will be space provided. So this wonderful synergy will help a lot in helping the next generation of engineers coming out to have actual hands-on learning. So, and I also would like to mention that we at the end of COVID, I mean, it's not the end of COVID, but towards the end when the colleges had restarted, we created a new faculty company called N Cleaners, because the offices that needed reopening really wanted industrial strength cleaning. And they have started doing extremely well with the sophisticated equipment. All of them are mechanical engineering professors, but they are now branching out into incinerators, bio-waste recycling and so on. So that would be another great opportunity to collaborate. So that's something which I learned only very recently in Venkatesh sir's presentation. So I'm looking forward to a wonderful collaboration with this great group, and let's hope that we manage to create innovations which are sustainable, useful, tangible, and really beneficial to the state of Kerala at the grassroots level. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Arun. Sir, it's really inspirational talk. As I'm also representing from an engineering college, the main difficulty you mentioned about the changing the faculty culture, because that is where we stand. And I'm also happy to announce that 7 of our electrical students, along with one faculty member, his name is also called Arun Elias. They started a new private limited company very recently in the solar domain. Oh, and they are doing very successfully. I can see that even in my house also, they came as a part of the assignment. They went to our training and placement offices, then another colleague, and wherever I think they are moved into a different location also. So it's booming up. Yeah. So now you give me so much encouragement that involvement of the faculty along with the students, and also they have done 2 electrical vehicles as a part of their final year project, the same students along with this, for which we got a KPIT national entry and all. So that way they are also working there. So that's again further you got us good confidence. And also, sir, you said about another very important factor, that the innovator cannot be a developer or an entrepreneur, and a rare combination occurs also. That is another challenge. And again, MBITS is one very recently got this Smart India Hackathon hardware winners for 2020 and 19. So now we are trying to convert it as a model into this. So a bit of confusion. They also decided, take the permission from their house, that they are going for a private limited company. But now also I can see that the previous presenters, at a very younger age, they got 50 lakhs of funding and all. So
we live in a culture where an entrepreneur cannot get married, but somebody who gets salary from him gets married. So these are cultural factors which will take a few years to change, but yeah.
That's why I said that my student, his name, he got this Ganesh Sridhar, got his family permission at least next 2 years. And by the way, just this a very, very interesting thing. He went for a placement interview very recently. And after looking into the CV, they said that you are more to be suitable to be an entrepreneur, not to this. He said, I already...
Sir, TK sir mentioned this. He was talking about how more students should come towards startup rather than looking for a job. There is this statistics which I usually present these days, which is that, see, 95% of the startups will fail, but 5% have a chance of succeeding. But if you look at the number of people who write a PSC exam or an aptitude test for TCS, if there are 100 vacancies, look at it, 1 lakh people will write it. So your percentage is 0.01 to succeed there, and you're not learning anything new. But if you are in a startup, even if it fails, from day one, you have learned a lot of engineering, lot of management, lot of networking, lot of funding details. So this is a total culture change we are looking at, and it will slowly come, definitely come.
Sir, now you clearly said that this, the success rate should be compared with the 0.01 to 5%.
Yes.
So then you get where do we stand. So thank you very much. And I think we are also taking a little extra time for the best interest of her. Now I go to the next agenda item, crack the whip. Over to you, TK Joe, sir, ACS, Home and Water Resource Department. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, Sojanlal sir, dear friends. As my half of my time is given to John Thomas, I don't take much time. Of course, it was quite surprising to see John Thomas coming to my office, and that happened to be this day of VC. So thank you for bearing with me. Now, okay, I just narrate only points. I don't want to speak much. Usually that teacher mindset is in the backdrop of me, so I used to talk little elaborate. Now I will only narrate a point number 1. I reiterate our target. The vision we set is a 500 engineering startup, another 11 months. Already 1 month is over. So this year 2021, let us reiterate our stand for 500, minimum 500 numbers of engineering startups. Okay. Number 2, I again redefine the role of Water Resource Department. Water Resource Department will provide opportunities to resolve our existing problems in our working and in society, in water sector and environment sector, through the startup which the colleges are going to incubate and register with the Startup Mission of Kerala. So our role is inform, inspire and motivate the engineering colleges, potential and prospective students, student entrepreneurs to start, to hatch and to incubate the engineering startup. We will do, apart from providing opportunity in Water Resource Department, what we will do is we will inform and intimate other departments that such a program is going on. We are collaborating with the academic institutions for creation of 500 engineering startups. So why don't you also look into these colleges, these engineering startups for seeking help in your department and your problems. So that is role number 2. That is my second point. 3, we have a lot of problems in water resource department and in government. In-house capacity with government departments and government agencies may be limited. So when I say government department, it is water resource is the department. Government agencies are there. Government agencies like groundwater department is another agency, KIIDC, IDRB, then KW is an authority, KIIDC is a public sector company, that is a company. So all these people, they have a lot of problems and issues. We are trying to resolve these problems with the help of people from the campus, departments and engineering startups. So for that purpose, we are collaborating. Immediate purpose is to address our problems in a better and efficient manner. Two, in this process, it will be an enriching process for the students for undertaking real life problem. Two, the colleges, departments to guide the students and fulfilling the requirements of AICT now. AICT in the latest supervision order says that the colleges will be rated on the basis of consultancies taken by teachers and departments, industry attachment to teachers, and the number of startups you are incubating. These are all going to be the criteria for rating by National Board of Accreditation to colleges. So in a way, it will be mutually beneficial. And the students will get opportunity to work in real life problems while they are in the campus itself. The fourth part I wanted to mention is government departments and agencies have to change their mindset from the typical style and role of the government agency that we have the authority, we know everything, that attribute or that style to an entrepreneurial mindset and style. An entrepreneurial mindset, what I mean is, an entrepreneur owns his business, he involves fully, there will be timeliness and completion of the projects in time without supervision are the attributes when an entrepreneur put his heart and brain into his business and willing to seek solutions from outside. When you are an entrepreneur, you seek opportunities for your business as well as you seek qualified HR from outside, you seek support from outside. So that mentality, working along with startups and colleges, I expect that our departmental officials, they are also professionals. Once they are detached from their academic institution, they feel that they know everything. But in the current day science technology, a lot of developments happening. You have to occasionally update yourself. You have to learn new things. You have to take up collaborative research and projects along with the teachers and colleges. So to bringing in short, to bringing in more ownership of the project, involvement of the team, timeliness, and timely completion of the projects without supervision. If you are running, if Biju is running his own enterprise, he will not wait for ACS to monitor him and Alex not wait till if ACS doesn't monitor him, he will not do anything. So that sort of thing in government should go out as if you are the owner of the project. If CE of IDRB doesn't feel that he is the owner of IDRB, then there is no meaning. So to bring in and inculcate that culture in our colleagues. See, next fifth point is to improve the quality of the output and services. I know you are all doing good job. You are giving products and services to society, but still there is a lot of possibilities for improving the quality, not only of the product, but also in services. Service with a smile. In government, the higher the level you go, all are having a face with a constipated body. You enjoy the work. Always, when all these professionals come to me, they all come with a face demonstrating a constipation in their stomach, and they are coming with, oh, problem. So start enjoying your problem, trying to find out solutions from elsewhere, from outside. When you share the problem, your problem with others, there may be a lot of solutions. You grade and prioritize the solution. So this is one of the purpose of this phase 2. From good, you are all good, but from good, we have to move towards better and to attain or aim for the best. So when I say best, let the water resource department be the best in the country to begin with. Mine irrigation, let it be the best mine irrigation department in the country. major irrigation, become the best in the country. Create a micro irrigation department, but no chief engineers. Whenever I say there is a new opportunity, they will all dream about one chief engineer, two superintending engineers, and three executive engineers. No. Without positions, how to lead? Leading without titles. How to lead without titles and new positions. So that an entrepreneur, see, no entrepreneur will recruit so many people, even if your turnover is increasing from 2 crores to 20 crores. You will try to do the job with on existing staff. Okay. So that sort of a culture, you learn the culture when collaborate with others. When somebody goes to UK, in academic institution, you learn when teachers going to do a PG course in UK, you bring in not only knowledge, but the culture and the ethos of that educational institution. Similarly, our department, water resource department, should learn from the youngsters, learn from the institutions. Now, seventh point now, from good to better and better teamwork and a healthy competition, change from that authoritarian approach to collaborative approach. That is the 6th point. 7th point is the world is changing, environment is changing, technologies are changing. So we have to look into outside department for solving your new problems. So that is where we are looking for. Say, for example, I remember when the Pichi Dam, there was a flow or there was a damage underwater. They were all demanding naval scuba divers to come and do. We were not aware of the EyeRov startup. So understanding each other and seeking help, mutually seeking help and providing opportunity to young startups. That is the 7th point. 8th point is, I already mentioned, the AICT guideline and future accreditations by the National Board of Accreditation based on consultancies of teachers, departments and colleges, industry attachment to teachers and startups. So within your campus, you can think of an industry attachment if there are flourishing startups coming in the campus. So that is the 8th point. 9th point is a competitive environment we have to create in the state of Kerala so that lot of opportunities for value addition, job creation, wealth creation, and a better economic prosperity through more and more startups. Of course, I know that it is a long journey, but if you don't start the journey, we cannot move. Creating more GDP through startup and manufacturing and services is a long journey, but let us start. Start with 500. That is the 9th point. There is even if there is competition, let us create possibilities of collaboration. That is, in the midst of competition, create opportunities and possibilities for collaboration between startups as well as between departments and startups. 10th point is, and the last and final point is, yes, as already Mr. Anto said, I don't expect 100% success in startup journey. What we are aiming is various levels of success we wish to every startup, but really 10% of the 500 should move to branch out to national companies. A startup incubated from the campus becoming a national player, national company over a period of the first 3 years or 5 years, 3 to 5 years. That is only 10%. And another 25% of this 10%, let us aspire for a global recognition. 25% of the 10%. That is the really 2.5% of the total to become global players. Let us all encourage and motivate who are showing the strength for, see, when in the college, when you conduct a sports meet, if somebody is demonstrating better speed and better height and better distance, somebody is showing better distance, not breaking your college record and state record, you will surely recommend him for national meet. And if somebody is again showing better records than national meet or Asia, then you will recommend them for Olympics. So let us think of the 500 within Kerala, 10%, that is 50 at national level, 50 at national level, and say 10 to 12.5 or 15 numbers, real global players, Olympic level. So this is what I want to tell. I don't want to add anything further. Thank you very much. And we will keep on increasing the colleges. Today, I think the participation number has come down to, the highest number was 54. So let us, Biju and Priyesh, to invite all those colleges which were participating. And let us keep all the people in this journey along with the KTU. And see, Arun, Alex and all, we will hand over this to KTU. We just initiated. We don't want to keep always the ownership with us alone. Higher Education Department and KTU to lead this and make it much more broad-based. And we will be always with you. We will be extending our support opportunities. As I mentioned, even 500 companies come forward. There are a lot of works, lot of contracts, lot of projects there to keep your hunger burning, and you'll get opportunity or food for your thought as well as revenue for your company from government side. Doesn't mean that you can do only in government. Thank you very much. And as it is already 6:10, I'm stopping. After next fortnight again, we will same day, same time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Because of the time restrictions, we will take only one or two more questions, one or two questions. If there are any further questions, please either put it in the chat box or you can raise your hand. We'll take one or two questions.
Sojanlal sir, actually IDRB has got a online forum. So we would like to present it. Give us 5 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. So we can present it now.
Okay, sir.
Rohit will be presenting on behalf of IDRB.
Sir, for feedback, shall we circulate the normal form? Biju sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Eldos, please circulate the feedback form.
Yes, sir.
Kindly fill the feedback form, please.
Respected sirs and madams, very good evening. Myself, Rohit Adi. I'm working as Assistant Director in IDRB. So I have been assigned with the task of introducing all of you to the online discussion forum that we have developed within the IDRB website. So I know this session is not scheduled for today, so I'm not taking much of your time. So just lend me a couple of minutes. Okay. So I believe everyone can see the shared screen.
Yeah. Please go ahead first. We can see.
Yeah. So we have introduced a new icon in the homepage of IDRB named Discussion Forum. So when you can register yourself using the sign up button. So I'm not walking you through the entire registration, but it is pretty basic. So we have developed this forum in similar to the discussion forums like Quora and Reddit. So I'll just show you the forum page. Once you have completed the registration, you will be receiving a mail confirming your registration. So we from the IDRB sent, we will be validating the registration and activating your account. Upon activation, you will be shared with the username and password. So let me just log into the forum. Upon login, here we have introduced a new topic and new polls. When if you want to create a new topic, say, let me show you something. Topic on tie-up program description. Opinions.
Biju sir, can we do it literally for the next meeting, sir? Or is it something urgent to be shown now? As we are running out of time and it's out of schedule.
2-3 minutes only, sir. It will finish now.
Okay.
So this is pretty much it. Anyone can see the post and you can reply or comment to it. Just like Quora, and in addition to it, we have already also introduced a new poll system where you can create polls and get answers or opinions of other members of the group.
Priyesh, I feel because many of the participants are quite aware of this, even if it is a little bit of explanatory in the operational side of this new platform or the new forum, you give the instruction, set of instruction in a small box or something. Let us not waste our time today, because last meeting we decided that we will not sit beyond 2 hours. So it is already 2 hours and 15 minutes. So let us close it, sir.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay.
Yeah. You give the description in your website. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Now I request Madam Sridevi, Deputy Chief of I&A, for the vote of thanks very quickly, please. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Please don't do these all formalities. No point of thanking me and all the officers. You only need to thank outside people, our guests, and especially the new people who joined. Don't say utter a word to ACS, Secretary, MD, okay, Director, etc. Okay, leave that formality. Thank you.
I extend my profound thankfulness to Shri.John Mathai, CEO and co-founder of EyeRov Technologies, and Shri.Anto Patrick, CEO founder of Lamaara Technologies, for the impressive presentation and on the projects taken up by the startups and the prospects of the startups to associate with the government departments. Thank you, Susan Jacob, Madam, HOD Carmel College of Engineering and Technology, for sharing her views and concerns in taking up the projects put forward by the department and for finding a way forward for future collaboration. Thank you, Arun Surendran, sir, Principal, Trinity College of Engineering, for sharing your experience and motivating words to the engineering startups. Thank you, Shri.John and Thomas, sir, CEO Technopark, for being a part of this gathering and for sharing your experience on the aspiring startups. I also take this opportunity to express my profound thankfulness to the esteemed officials from government departments, non-faculties and students of engineering colleges, aspiring startups, who are part of this gathering, for making this discussion fruitful and productive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and hope that next time onwards we'll also try to close by sharp within 2 hours. So, and also we may not go for this much agenda items. That's what I propose. Thank you very much. Over to you. Bye bye.
Yeah, one small
Joe, sir. Yes, sir, Joe.
Announcement. The minutes of the last meeting was updated just now only. It was held up with me for the last 3-4 days because every day I was leaving my office only after 11 o'clock. I could clear it, correct it only by yesterday, today morning 2 a.m. Soumya from IDRB has uploaded it now for the reference purpose, the minutes. It will be every minutes like in the phase 1 will be agenda and minutes will be uploaded in the IDRB website. Thank you.
And also, sir, we'll be meeting up after 2 weeks, same time, 4 o'clock, same link also. Thank you very much. Bye. Kindly fill the feedback form in case if anybody has not filled up. Thank you.